And hello everyone to another session of Followers. Wait, that's the previous game. Fractures of Reality. I'll get it one of these days. In the previous episode, Alnath ran into some trouble, and apparently he might have attempted to kill Corax's sister. Might have been framed for that. And might be about to be put on trial for certain crimes that he might not have committed. Maybe.
Oh. Trial.
And so, you all quietly, followed the owl cat, got the tickets, and have been making your way towards the Great Elf City. You all are quietly brought back onto the owl cat, and as you fly further west, you then see it. Built almost into the mountain itself, it's a city that almost seems to scale upward with a large castle at the very top. It's almost built into layers with different circles of various buildings and structures. And the further up you go, the smaller the layers get. But I suppose I'll just bring you over to the map now, shall I?
Oh man, new maps.
Hey, I just posted our collective mental image of it in the Discord channel.
The city, as you all get off the Owlcat, is full of elves. You guys can't walk 5 feet without nearly bumping into someone. The streets are bustling. There's elves walking back and forth, going about their day, and you're actually causing a bit of a rift in traffic just from where you guys are standing and looking around. Elnath is brought out, and one of the guards informs Corax that they're just taking him to the jail cell at the guard tower, and they all quietly head up towards the upper rings.
Nods.
Leaving you all to decide what you want to do.
Courthouse.
Just what kind of like shivers, giving a look. She goes, "Ugh, so many. Thought 2 were enough."
This place is way more packed than I expected.
This box must be cursed. Chlora puts the puzzle blocks away.
Well, courthouse.
Oh, DM, what time of day is it?
It is about mid to late afternoon. You've still got a few hours of sunlight, but it was still a long journey. Like, you all are a little stiff from having to sit in the same place for so long, you know.
And
maybe we should go have a talk with your parents' assistant. See what we can learn.
That's oh wait, no, sorry, a woman now. I gotta use a different voice. That is a talk I will be having with him. And the rest of you.
Just what kind of just shivers again, and then starts to head towards heaven. I'm getting a drink. Good luck.
And Careful where you wander. Outsiders aren't allowed in some parts of the city.
You sound like as if
What-
that's new to me.
Wouldn't it be in that case? Wouldn't it be a good idea for us to stick with you?
And well,
You are welcome to go. I'm
Yeah,
going to.
I look.
I had
I
one of
look
family
to the
plans for
ta-
my date.
I look to the tavern that I look to the tavern that Jezebel went into. Does do I happen to know whether it has anywhere private so we can all talk?
I mean, you could rent a room.
Not exactly the well,
You actually do have one friend that you know is very good at keeping their mouths shut. A little tiny, almost midget elf man. He's old and grizzled and a little bit senile, but like he's half deaf, so half the time he doesn't even hear you. And yeah, if he's still alive, you'd probably be able to speak there freely.
where would that be?
5 Commerce Way. It's on the map, top right.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Jezebel, come with us. Don't you want to hear it?
She pauses and then looks over her shoulder.
No, not. I mean, Jezebel, come with us. Don't you want to hear it? I gotta get used to do it. Gotta get used to doing a female voice. Is for Korax now.
Isabel kind of throws her head up in there. She goes, "Fine."
So you head over there. I'm assuming.
You were so you seemed so excited to see the moment before, and yeah, we head over there.
You head over there and you knock on the door. There's a long moment of silence before eventually the door opens up a crack. There's one of those little olden time chain locks on it, and he squints through the door. You all see this very, very old elf. Like, you didn't even know they could get old.
And out of character, remind me, what was his name?
Yes, what would be his name?
You may wish to pull up the name generator, or what did you a while back?
Yeah, let me just quickly grab a quick name. Sorry. Vestin.
And how do you spell that?
Vestin.
Hello, Veston. Long time no see.
Oh, I remember you. You're that royal kid with the blonde hair and
Doesn't exactly narrow it down, but yes. I was hoping we could have some. My friends and I needed somewhere private to talk. Would you? Do you mind? I hope we wouldn't be imposing or anything.
Oh, no. If you want to come in, sure you can come in. I could actually use some help, watering the garden out back here, and taking care of some chores, cleaning out the gutters. So come in. I'll make you all some tea. And the door is unlocked and opened up as you see this.
And you all basically see Bag End from the Lord of the Rings.
And you watch as
I want a word picture.
the tiny elf man slowly hobbles towards the kitchen and puts the kettle on. Oh,
Yeah, I wait for the. So while the kettle is starting to whistle, hopefully, wrecking what little hearing this old man has left. All right, so, like, gestures to her new body. So I suppose you all want to. So I suppose you're all itching to know what brought this about.
That'd be a great. That would clear a lot up if you could explain it. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what wild magic is?
You're not serious.
Pitiful sneakers.
I have been keeping it suppressed since I was a toddler.
Still,
And now it's starting to bubble up. Now,
so that's why you've had so much contempt towards Virna this whole time.
in you I suppose you know the stance this city and my people take on it.
Well,
Wait,
well,
is it
we
your
in the
head? No.
well, my people have heard stories, but none of us get wild magic. So that's all they are to us, stories.
In if it became public knowledge, I would be outcast, a social pariah. My family's name would probably be ruined.
what did you say, Sonny? Are you talking to me?
Not. No, not at all. They were just admiring this painting over here.
Oh, okay.
Laura did perform an exaggerated motion to admire said painting.
Now,
He brings
I
you
suppose.
he brings you all over the tea, and then he says, I'm going to go into the other room and light a fire. It's getting a little chilly in here. It's like 30 degrees or like 90 degrees Fahrenheit for you Americans.
Yeah, I figured that would probably be the
No,
case.
Canadian to Celsius.
Mm.
So it's 30 Celsius,
I
90 Fahrenheit.
Yeah, I recognize Celsius is better, but Fahrenheit is what's wired in my brain. So
It's fine. I just basically it's actually really hot in here and he's going to turn on the fire. Either way, you may continue
My
now.
God.
So now, out of character, basically, to sum it up, being outed as a wild mage in this society is like being outed as gay in Victorian England.
Oh,
Now,
in other words, heresy.
now, and now, I shouldn't have to tell you all that that nothing I said just now leaves this room. Understand?
Of course.
Okay.
Mm.
So, you can tell that Clara heard and mentally processed the information, but then she turns around, looks at you, she said, "What'd you say?"
Hey,
Don't worry about
she gets it. Good.
Is it really safe for you to be back here then?
And I don't know, but there are questions that need to be answered, and I'm in the best place to get, and I'm still in the best position of anyone here to get the answers. And let's just say there are two things I need to learn from my family. One is, of course, one, of course, concerns the upcoming trial, and the other glances at Charlotte. is a little bit more personal.
It's now very uncomfortable. Can't we all just get along?
What? You want some thongs?
What? No.
Oh.
I know we're good. Best done. Thank you.
Oh,
Jezebel gives a
okay.
cheeky grin. You do need new
Wha-
clothes, Corax.
Like, she looks down. I mean, these still seem to work just fine.
That mean you're not wearing any underwear.
Er,
I'm not having that
gotta
particular
go
conversation right
outside.
now.
Yeah.
One thing at a time, please.
Jezebel just looks amused.
It's like Veston mentioned the gardens, right?
And the guards shouldn't be an issue. I mean, it's not. It's not. I mean, it's not as most people. It's not as though most people can actually identify wild magic on sight.
Sorry, I should be more clear. I was asking about Veston's garden.
Oh, I thought you said guards. Eh, 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 I mean, yeah. I mean, he does have one out back. If you want to, should be. Yeah, it should be back doors over there.
Right. Yeah, she's gonna go out and visit it.
It's
Just to get out of this weird conversation.
the garden is more weeds than actual plants. But everything is overgrown, the tiles are cracked. It's, this tiny, cramped, like 1 meter section behind the house. There's a small rocking chair with a book beside it. The rocking chair is also covered in weeds.
It's like everyone
Laura
has been
follows
overtaken by nature.
Cicada, like expecting to see a nice, beautiful garden. She steps out and she's like, disappoint.
Oh. That's well taken, unfortunately. Only if I was a druid. But I'm not. Plant. I don't have plant speech or whatever.
Yep, so you'll
Eh.
have to do it manually.
Oh god.
You're not Gwen anymore.
The only thing that could possibly help this is my mage hand invitation.
So, what are the rest of you doing?
Damn, do I got Charlotte's stuff
Uh,
from other fracture stuff?
sure. You probably
I was just
have their
curious.
stuff.
Is there a way to prove the rank of anything from previous Charlotte stuff?
There is.
Okay. I was just curious.
So what else is everyone doing?
Jezebel's kind of looking out the window with a bit of a frown on her face. Looking a little bit lost in thought. But she
Dark out
does
there.
occasionally glance at Charlotte now and then, though, too.
I guess Ryu would be just as much lost in thought.
And Korax is actually gonna go help Flora with the garden.
And Cicada.
Alright. You all spend about an hour working on the garden.
They're using a guitar get plants.
You manage to unweed the rocking chair and get most of the weeds out, revealing that there's only a single plant that isn't dead. But you give it a water, and the man casually hobbles out of the house and says, "Oh, you all have done just a wonderful job. Here's your pay. Don't spend it all at once." He hands you each a single piece of copper.
Korax just takes it with a grin. She she anyone looking at her actually sees a bit of nostalgia on her face.
Yeah. Cicada smiles and bows. You're welcome.
Come back anytime, you hear?
Okay.
So you all head out?
She is a little curious about that book on the chair swing.
It is a true crime book. 50 murders in 500 years. It's also as big as like a giant book, the really big books that are like thick enough that
Like a bone.
like the size of a brick.
Can be used as a weapon.
She's gonna put that down.
So you all
Not
head
by
out?
you, I suspect.
The kid is gonna put that book down and head back inside.
Alright, what do you guys do now?
We still need to talk about Charlotte.
Yeah?
Well,
Yeah.
Jezebel's going to glance over to Ryu and then kick his leg.
What?
Okay, so
She
go over
points
to
a
Charlotte.
she points a thumb over at Charlotte and gives him a look.
What do you want me to do?
Doc?
I'm not exactly on speaking terms with her right now.
I know. I'm not either. But again, you should probably try to talk. You're the one that kind of
Does it
pulled her up
make
by her
up?
shirt.
She's the one who went behind our backs and sold out my great-grandfather to the guards.
Is this an earshot, by the way?
I don't know.
I'm assuming so, so Charlotte's gonna walk out the room.
You guys have already left the room, like, you're walking. It's up to Jezebel if
You're in
she's doing it within earshot. It's up to Jezebel.
Well, I was mostly trying to keep it just to ourselves, I guess.
I was just curious as well.
I'd say with
I
the
don't-
busy crowd and the fact I'd say with the busy crowd and everything, you might have seen Ryu react, but you didn't hear it.
Okay.
don't remember what I was gonna say.
Rio, would you repeat what you shouted for Jezebel so she can remember what she was gonna say?
I said, Ed, she was the one who went behind our backs and sold my great grandfather out to the guards.
Yes, and I may not also agree with that either, but she did do it for.
I ask you again, Jezebel, what if that was your brother?
To be fair, it's not the first time Brad's been put in jail. But it's also good to not overreact and find out why.
I'm not talking about selling him out to guards in his case. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
All right, calm down. I'm not trying to start a fight. I'm just saying you probably should apologize for picking her up that way. That was a little rude. Yelling, I can understand. That's fine. You don't have to. I'm just saying, sooner or later, you probably should at least talk somewhat. Which I will do after you.
She's the one who should be apologizing to my great-grandfather for what she did.
To be fair, he's just in jail, not like as if he was killed or executed for whatever it is wrong.
Could be.
Which we won't let happen. Calm down.
On that note, I'd better and I'd better go chase that lead down. Come with me. I can lead you towards the courthouse.
All right. I've been wanting to get back to this anyway.
Keep acting like that, dear Foxy, and sooner or later you're gonna get thrown in jail too. Level-headedness, please.
You expect me to stay calm with a family member's life on the line?
I've done it for a good couple years. You can too.
I'm going before I say something. Before I say something, I'm gonna regret.
Isabel just kind of rolls her eyes, but follows. And as she passes, she also gives Cicada a little pat on the head, and then continues walking.
So, okay, so we all head off towards, well, basically the uppermost level.
Alright. As you get further up the levels, you notice that the level of guard steadily increases. Well, it's not like there's a massive heavy guard. At least not until you get near the royal palace. There is a noticeable increase in the amount of guards you see the further up you get. Additionally, the roads get better made, better maintained. There's small gardens and fountains. The higher up you get, the more high class it's getting, basically. You find the gate that leads to the highest area, and it's naturally guarded. The guards ask you for your business, and once they confirm that you are of who you say you are, Corax, they nod and let you inside. And
I suppose the picture on my ID is a little bit out of date at this point.
Oh, they let you inside, and you're slowly brought over to the guard. You make your way to the guard tower. The guards all nod at you. They're keeping an eye on you, but they're not, stopping you every five seconds. And yeah, they bring you over to where Elnath is being held. The cell is a lot better. It's, you know, has got an actual bed and a proper toilet. It's still a jail cell, but it's definitely better conditions.
On the map, you guys are all over here now, by the way.
Grandfather?
Right, okay.
Yes, hello.
How-
They've been treating you well, I hope.
Yes, I even got to have a lovely meal, and I told them I needed someone to represent me in court, and they told me they assigned me what's it called?
An attorney.
Yes, they assigned me the public attorney.
All right.
And who was that?
I haven't met them yet, but I believe their name is. What was it again, Neku? This?
Beat.
Beat, yeah. I believe their name was Beat.
Does that name mean anything to me?
I mean, did Korax ever look into the politics or into all the judging and stuff? Or did he just not really?
Yeah, no, like you mentioned before that his parents never really gave him any detail about like the family business and the politics and stuff. That's because she now never really showed any interest in any of that stuff.
So yeah, I'd say you probably don't know them then. Like, it was never interesting to you, you didn't see much of a point in it.
Well, I'll leave the rest of you to it. I've got my own business up here, and Korax is gonna split off for the Royal Palace.
Alright, I will leave you there and I will leave the group at the guard tower for a moment, as I want to check on everyone else. So, Ryu, you said you're going to the guard tower, right?
If that's where Elnath is, isn't it?
Yes. Okay.
He was.
Alright, Cicada, Clara, and Charlotte. What are you guys doing? Okay.
Huh. Yeah.
I was going to ask the commander what we were doing, but I forgot which title the correct Charlotte uses.
I'm not. I'm
We all said
pretty
Charlotte's title was.
I'm pretty sure it was Commander, wasn't it, Neku?
For this Charlotte, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what are we doing now, Commander?
I would appreciate if you don't refer to me by my rank. It's not even my rank to begin with.
Okay.
Aw.
Regardless, I want to do a little bit of digging while I can. I'm gonna head to the guard tower to check on the case, perhaps.
Investigations. I can help.
All right.
Appreciate it. Get more clues, get more help.
Okay. So, you guys will arrive a little after Ryu then, because, you know, you were giving him his space to have his conversation with Jezebel. Jezebel, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I am not really sure. I guess we'll just follow Ryu.
Okay. Ryu?
Yeah.
You're in the jail area. Elnath is in front of you. What do you do?
have they? Have you gotten any more? Have you gotten any more details to what's going on?
Well, no, they just put me in the cell.
So, so we don't have anything new to go on.
Not on my end, but I'm the prisoner.
If the, if they, they, if they're so damn sure you're the culprit, then they ought to have had a play-by-play on exactly what you did,
Well,
or rather didn't do.
well, the pre-court stuff is all happening tomorrow. I haven't even met my attorney yet.
You
Well,
managed to get.
Where can I find this beat person?
The guards all share a look and they say, the public attorney is busy with another case at the moment, but you may meet them tomorrow.
I'd appreciate that.
All right.
We really can't meet him sooner.
So what you're saying, everyone, I guess what you and even the guards are saying is there's nothing we can really do until tomorrow.
Well, I mean,
At least-
it is close to sunset.
And he's still working.
I wonder if Korax is finding anything.
Alright. So, Korax, you're let in. They, escort you towards where the officers are. You know, your family all welcomes you back.
Well, the 3 of them that are there.
Yeah, you know what I mean. They inform you that, your father is away on business at the moment, but,
Unexpected.
name is. But February is indeed in their office, and if you're willing to wait a little bit, they'll be able to see you.
And I will do so. And Mother.
Pardon?
And yeah, and while I'm waiting, I'd like to talk to my mother.
Alright. You head over to where she is. Korax, it's a pleasure to see you. How goes your search?
And I have determined. Well, I have determined that she is safe. She's in Lundruck. She's fallen in with an adventuring company. Don't know where she is right now, but I've left a message for her. I'm hoping she gets it.
I see.
But tell me, well, so, how have things been here?
Well, your father is out currently handling a situation in the city. Having certain incidents happen, like the one with your sister, has led to much of the populace being concerned about hidden groups that might be lurking in the city.
It is, well, potentially concerning one of those hidden groups that I'm actually back here. You know the man who was extradited from Lundruck yesterday?
Yes.
And well, I actually came over here with him, and I believe he is innocent.
The mother actually pauses for a moment and and looks away, and I need you to roll me insight.
Insight.
Oh, I see, and you're certain of this fact.
And I have traveled with the man for several months. And he. Suffice to say, I do not think I do not think he would. I do not think him capable of staying hidden, as it were.
Well, you'll have to get more details of the case tomorrow. But I mean,
I was hoping.
I'd rather
I
wait.
was hoping for that February.
Of course. I don't have all the details, and there are certain bits of information that would be best seen with the entire case around.
Right.
But we have very strong evidence to confirm that he was in the right place at the right time to have been directly involved.
And I should very much like to see it because, well, yeah. Oh,
Of course, but not even going to take a night and get some rest. We left your room exactly as you left it.
right. But there is one other thing. There is one other thing.
Yes?
It may also concern the strange. It's going to be a bit of an odd request coming from me, but it may also concern the strange things that have been happening lately.
Of course.
Our family finance records. I'd like to be able to take a look at them.
I see. Well, most of that is handled by your father, but perhaps talking to whoever will allow you to get to them earlier without waiting for his return.
And I see. Well then, I'd better get to that meeting.
All right.
It's good to see you again, Mother. And I give her a hug.
She returns the hug and, kisses you on the forehead.
And okay, I'm gonna go find Fevre.
All right. You head over there, and the guard gives a nod and briefly knocks on the door and says that you've returned, and there's a brief bit of conversation before eventually you are let in. You're able to see a tall, thin, but that's normal for elves. They have some black hair and golden eyes. They're dressed in traditional advisor garb, all the colors and gilded stuff that is traditional for that sort of wear. And he gives a warm smile as he sees you. Ah. It is the young prince. Welcome back.
Out of character, young lord would be more accurate.
Oh, sorry. I struggled a bit there to think of what would be the right term, but yeah.
Yeah, no, prince. No.
I flailed a bit there, but anyway.
Yeah.
It's the young lord. Welcome back.
And good to see Ufevre, although I guess well, now it would be young lady at this point, but anyway. Hello, Fevre. Like motions at herself, young lady now, but hello, Fevre.
Oh, I
I would,
see.
I meet, and I was hoping to discuss, well, ask for access to a couple of things today. First, the man who was recently extradited from Lundruck. I'm told you have, and I'm told that you yourself gathered a rather strong case against him.
Yes, and you see him lean forward and bring his hands together as he gives a curious look. What is your interest in this man, though? You normally don't care for these sorts of affairs.
Well, this does concern the kidnapping of my sister.
That is true, that is true.
I would like to see, and well, compounding on this is that I have actually had dealings with this particular man in the past, and I find it very difficult to believe that he could have been involved. So I was hoping to see the case you built against him, all the details.
Well, all of the details have been sent off to the what's the word again? God, my
The
memory.
attorney.
The attorney, that's
The
it.
attorney.
They've been sent
Well-
off to the attorney, but I can give you some information. You
That
see,
would be.
you know how your sister preferred to live outside of the royal palace?
Yes.
And how she had her own little home that was attended to by a couple of maids that would come by, they'd clean it up, and then they'd leave.
And yes, protected by nearly impenetrable wards.
Well, those maids, right before the incident which nearly killed your sister, they reported that this elf was seen with her reading tomes together.
That sounds like fairly normal it sounds like fairly normal behavior for him. Honestly, he's like I mean, is that all the evidence you have that they were seen together shortly before?
You do remember who your sister is, right? If
That
it
is
was
true.
If it was as easy as just having a shared interest, then she would have made a friend by now.
That's a little mean, but I cannot entirely deny it.
And yet this man was sitting in the room with her, and they were reading books. And according to those maids, the books were on cults and various ancient ruins that happened to be, well, to the north and west of us. East, not west. To the north and east of us.
And
God.
Which was also coincidentally the direction that she was last seen heading, was it not?
and
She was first seen heading, sorry.
It was. That. True enough, but.
She was kidnapped. And what better place to kidnap from? The elf was known to possess quite strong magic. In fact, we've had a look through his tome, and there are several spells that would make it quite easy for someone to slip out of the city.
I see.
I know he might have told you and said things
He
that
told
might.
me. He told me within a zone of truth that he had no idea what this was about.
Zones of truth can be resisted, however. And how would you
And-
know if he
yes, but
resisted?
the person who cast it knows if it's resisted, and it was cast by a person I trust.
Very well. Well, we will see what happens during the case, as a zone of truth will be used during the case, as is customary for this sort of trial. If what you say is true, then the zone of truth will reflect that.
Right. But tell me, so you say the testimony came from these two maids.
Yes,
Did you get it directly from them?
I did, yes, and I even had them in a zone of truth when they were giving their testimony.
I see. Well,
I trust that will be all.
there's one other thing, and this is going to sound like a very odd request coming from me, but I would like access to my family's financial records.
I need you to roll me a perception check.
Please don't roll like shit, Korax. Yeah.
That's better.
There's the subtlest movement of his eyes slightly widening and the twitch of his mouth, as if he was about to smirk at that. I see. Well, I can see about registering the applicable paperwork to get you permission. I would estimate I could have it ready for you after the trial, shall we say, so that you can look it over after. Does that sound good to you?
How soon after?
Well, I would say it should be ready for you the day after the trial.
Insight.
Oh.
I cannot read this man. Actually, do I dare? Because it doesn't say that I have to do it before the roll. Would I be able to keep the tides of chaos down? No. Whatever I can get isn't valuable enough to take that kind of risk.
If that is all,
And
I shall.
Not with what I'm planning to do already.
If that is all, I really should get back to my work.
That will be all. Thank you, sir.
He gives you a bow, and then he says, congratulations on your recent transformation. I hope you enjoy the experience.
We'll see. Now, DM, as I leave, I have one last question. Where are the family records kept?
The family relics?
The family financial records. This is an out-of-character question. Do I know?
There's a vault where, important stuff is kept, like records, your family's finances, that sort of thing. And normally it requires both your mother's and your father's key. So the fact that he's saying he can get it to you after the court date likely means that that's the day your father's returning.
Yeah, like see that smirk he gave off has me really worried though.
It wasn't a smirk as in like, ha! It was more like, huh. Like amused or
No, 'cause, like,
bemused.
okay, because like, okay, that actually does put my mind at ease. Because I was like, wait, is he stalling for time so he can like manipulate the records or something?
No, he was just amused that you were asking about it.
Okay, no, like, if that's good, then that's fine. And like, yeah, like this part like isn't super like it's not super
Anyway,
it's not urgent. Like
Anyway.
it can wait until after the trial.
okay, so you return to the others. What are you guys doing?
Me and Charlotte and Clara, the girls, are on a search for clues about the case.
So here's what I'm actually going to be doing.
Yeah, and to think I was about to enlist Jezebel's help to break into the records vault.
Give me something to
There's-
do.
Here's what I'm actually about to do. Where is my station located at, as far as my knowledge?
Roll me a history check.
Mm-hmm.
9.
Hmm.
Eh,
You think
I wouldn't
you
know where my.
mostly went out and patrolled the city, but you would occasionally go out on larger missions. But for the most part, you guys lived at the guardhouse.
Guardhouse? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would like to return to the guardhouse.
All right, you head in.
Kata is following you.
Laura is going to
Char-
follow as well if she's permitted.
Charlotte walks up to the receptionist. I'm assuming there's one for the barracks just to, like, make sure they return home and whatever and such.
Yeah.
And for, like, assisting soldiers in need or questions.
Well, there's not really a receptionist just for the barracks, but there is someone you know just to check that people who see the prisoners are allowed and all that.
Oh, this ain't about the prisoners yet.
I know, but there's a general receptionist, is what I'm saying.
Okay. Charlotte would place the old ID card she had on the desk as she looks to the receptionist. Can I have some information?
Oh, Commander Hobbs. I'm shocked to see you.
What happened to me last? I have a slight bit of amnesia.
You were on a small mission with the rest of your troops, and they all said that there was a brief spell where all of you got a headache, and then half the troops vanished, along with you.
I see.
You were only taking a small force, I believe. I think it was. How many was it again?
There was 24 in total.
Oh, yes. I'm shocked you know.
Oh. Some things are clearing up on me. I was just checking on this.
So, the rest of the soldiers returned and they were assigned to other duties while we put in a report about you having vanished.
I had to take matters in my own hands for a little bit. I am sorry. Though I'm here reporting back for right now. I would like to have a warrant.
Well, it will take some time to reinstate you, but a warrant? What is the warrant for?
I would like to look into a case regarding a royal family member's disappearance. I
I
might have
see.
some info that might benefit the case.
I see. In that case, you will likely want to go to the courthouse. That's where most of the case documents are held.
I appreciate it. However, I'm looking. What's the right word for it? I'm looking. The warrant is the right word, but I need some information on the case first. So yeah, Charlotte nods. I'll be back shortly if I ever need that warrant. Thank you.
Would you like us to reinstate you for active duty?
Right now, leave would be the best option, as I just returned from a long journey.
Very well. They give a bow and they'll let you go.
Alrighty. Charlotte will head to the courthouse.
You head to the courthouse and you flush them your badge. They take note of your different appearance and they say, "Oh, did you dye your fur black?"
I inverted it. It helps
Yes.
blend in with the environment better.
I see. Yes, you'll be able to, a lot of the documents you're requesting are currently being used by the, public attorney who is currently going through them for a case that is going to be starting up tomorrow.
Understandable. May I ask you, for the public knowledge then, where the disappearance happened, that has to be public knowledge at least, correct?
Well, the disappearance happened at the young lord's home. You see, they don't live in the royal palace, but instead in a small house close to the royal library, which houses most of the rarer books, and is only really open to royals and nobles. And they give you Rudy's address and a permit to allow you entry.
Ah, great. Didn't even have to ask for a warrant. Thank you.
They figured you were going to ask for it.
Yeah, I was. Alrighty. With that said, Cicada, Flora, you guys ready? We're gonna investigate a house.
Investigation go.
So,
And last, we'll head to the house when we can.
while you guys are heading out of the courthouse, you hear some music off in the distance. But it's gone by the time you exit. It's just while you're in the courthouse, there was some quiet music.
Weird. Clara, are you playing music again?
You head over to Rudy's home, and there's, tape and warnings that no one is to enter, and guards posted out the front. You show the warrant, and they let you inside. You're able to see the entire house is filled to the brim with books.
Okay.
Honestly, that's to be expected.
Charlotte would ask the guard in question: has any of the house has the house been tampered with at all after the disappearance?
Well, we launched an investigation where we went through everything, but otherwise, no, it has not been tampered with as far as we are aware. Even the wards are still in place.
Good. Just wanted to make sure. Cicada, you're good at investigating, right?
Yeah.
Have a look around while I help you out with that. And before they
Okay.
enter the house fully, just to make sure not to arouse any suspicion, Charlotte will cast Enhance Ability.
Ooh.
Okay.
And I'll give you fox is cunning. So advantage on intelligence checks.
Alright,
You know
Okay.
what? Why not?
roll your investigation.
Alright, so as I'm doing this, I'm going to be using my mage hand to look through everything so I'm not leaving first.
Okay.
14.
And
Don't
also
forget the
roll.
bardic inspiration she just gave you.
Okay, that's... How much
D-
is that?
A D8.
D6?
A D8.
Okay. 16.
You go through the house, briefly looking into books, and eventually you make your way down into what could be considered a basement of sorts. The basement is comparatively clear compared to the others, and it's clear that they have made an effort to move most of the stuff to the side to reveal a runic circle that was carved into the stone of the basement.
I'm going to take note of this runic circle. I'm pretty sure it has nothing to do with the runic circle that I did, like, which was the copy of a necromancy summoning circle. So it probably has nothing to do with that.
Yeah, it's completely
able-
different.
Am I able to do an Arcana check on it
Sure,
to see if I can understand it?
go for it.
Yeah, detect magic. I can do that.
There's some magical books in the place, but for the most part, the enchantments are just to prevent them from, turning to dust, basically.
Alright, what about the circle?
It's not magic. It's just a runic circle. You know,
Okay.
they're not really magical until you send magic into them.
Right.
Right.
And this is where Arcana is actually valid.
As for you,
I-
well, you're not too sure on it. You're pretty sure it's some sort of conjuration magic.
Conjuration.
Summoning.
Creation. This magic circle is not meant to teleport or transport. It's meant to summon something.
I mean,
So if
teleportation is conjuration magic.
is it? Oh, okay,
At least I think so. Let me double check.
It is.
Teleport.
It is.
okay. Well, I need to update my magic knowledge then.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that too.
Because it's making
Teleporting.
stuff appear. But it's just you're making yourself appear elsewhere.
Okay. This conjuration could be teleportation. There's one more thing I like to do, but I'll have to ask for them to see if that person is still here. Well, before we head back out fully, I'm going to check one last thing, but that's about it.
Okay?
Did you two find anything
Okay.
useful?
Hmm. Did I find anything useful in the house? I mean, I was trying to check through all the cupboards, stairs.
I told you
Or
what you
does it
found.
know?
I told you what you found with your investigation. And then I'm assuming you
Okay.
told that you investigated and you found the basement.
Right, the basement. Okay.
Alrighty.
But we found there was teleportation circle, and Cicada is writing a note down on that. She's copying it in her journal.
Okay.
It's not within my knowledge to make it, so I'm not sure I can do it. Charlotte just starts mumbling as she heads outside now.
Alright.
Something wrong? Cicada does follow after. Is something wrong?
It has to be a spellcaster that has taken it. As far as I can tell, anyway. Without any disturbances in the actual house, that's not unnatural. So, my assumption is someone who can actually cast teleportation magic would be the case. But, maybe that's what they want you to think. You're missing something, I feel. Something that's going to tie in the entire case together.
Don't you have to cast in the same place for it to persist for like a year?
Well, with the runic circles, that means they had time to set it up. Would that not be the case?
True. In which case, why don't you just try to kidnap her outright?
Because there would be too much suspicion with the guards.
Oh, so you're
theory
suggesting
is-
maybe they try to teleport her out?
No, that's not what I'm suggesting at all. Rather, I'm suggesting the teleportation circle is to frame a wizard. There's no way a wizard would be able to make that in there while she's consciously knowing it. And I'm assuming if she's the type that lives away from the capital, she likes to stay away and stay in her house. How would she not know of someone making a teleportation circle inside her own house?
That's true.
Yeah.
That would have taken at least a year to make, though.
Takes a year? Wow, I didn't even know that. Charlotte just shrugs. I thought it took like an hour or something. That's even better. If it takes a year, that
No
means that that's
magic.
the basement.
No magic. So
No, Matt. My theory is anyone could have taken her, but without enough witnesses or guards to prove or account for, there's no way to tell who did it. Their only lead is the teleportation circle, which, again, it's probably just a frame wizard.
yeah.
So,
Okay, I looked into Elnate's spell book at one point. Was there a spell for teleportation in his book?
yes. Anyway, Jezebel,
Oh boy.
what are you doing?
I'm still following Ryu around, I guess.
Okay, Ryu.
Unless Chorus needs me for something.
Okay, Ryu, what are you doing?
Damn, what would I be doing right about now? Last thought I had was whether or not Korax has found anything.
Well, Corax has returned to you guys. You're free to ask him.
And so we're still visiting Elna's cell, right?
That's up to Ryu.
That's the only place I could imagine he would be right now.
So yes. Corax?
And just you two. Where'd the others go?
Might have gone on their own investigation, I think.
Well, I have learned and at least a little bit about what exactly Elnath is charged with. Elnath, out of character, what was the date of the kidnapping?
Something, 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 something.
Elnath, on the night of something. I'm thinking, were you visiting someone in this city? He would have had hair like mine, eyes like mine, but about a foot and a half shorter.
Just to refresh my
You-
memory, Elmo said he didn't know his Corax's sister, right?
And there's yeah.
I thought he did. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I didn't accidentally make a plot hole or anything. Sorry. Stupid cars. Elnath will pause for a moment and then go, yes, I met with one of the, I thought they were one of the local librarians that worked at the library. They, assisted with getting me into the Royal Library so I could search for various, ruins that might house potential, sites where the poachers would be.
Did she give her name?
Elnath actually pauses a bit and then gives a little cough and says, admittedly, I didn't ask.
Was she on about cultists the entire time?
I mean, she mentioned it once or twice, but
Yes, you met my sister.
and I also want to
Hmm.
mention this, Corax, but that kind of only started happening after she got kidnapped by cultists. Before that, she just,
Eh,
you know.
Oh. Well, the point is, I think we've established that he did in fact meet with Rudy.
Mm-hmm.
So you did meet with my sister. Did you go home with her?
Elnath actually jolts a bit and then says, when you say it like that, you make it sound like I did something indecent. She just invited me. She just suggested I could look through her collection at home.
The evidence against you is that you were seen with her shortly before she was kidnapped.
Oh, that's not good.
What? So, you. She took you to her house so you could look through her library. That's Okay. Someone managed. So someone got my sister. Someone got my little sister to take her. To take them home with her. That's astonishing enough on its own, but let's
I may
leave
have
that aside.
offered to teach her some magic.
Okay, that'll do it. It's
I mean, really had to have learned somewhere. But nah.
yeah. No, that all right. That'll do it. So on that day, you went to you went to her house to look through some books and
Oh,
teach her some.
it wasn't a day. It might have been spent over a week or two. I mean, elves don't really sleep. We lost track of time. Next thing I know, every single book had been read through, and I had a very, very clear list of places to check.
All right, and so the day of something 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 was the last day then.
Yeah, I
And
believe
okay, so you got done reading, and then what happened?
Well, I left. I,
How?
fulfilled my part of the bargain in showing her a couple of spells, and then I went out to continue my quest.
Okay.
I don't really remember the exact time I left because, well, oh, I don't remember the exact time. I mean, it was day.
Hmm.
All right.
A couple. Well, the house caretaker. Well, two house caretaker. Igors testified that they saw you, so apparently that's what that was.
I mean, he pauses for a moment, and let me actually just really quick.
Okay.
Yeah, no. He just gives a shrug and says, it was quite a while ago at this point. I'm sorry, I don't remember much."
Out of character. If I'm allowed to ask this, was it more than a year ago?
I can't remember the exact date, which is why we've been going something, 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 something.
Okay.
Because I don't want to set it in stone because I don't know what Wedwood wants for his campaign.
Okay.
Either way, I think it was at least a year ago, because I do believe that Rudy and Pete's character were had been traveling for at least a little while. Either way, Cicada, Clara, and Charlotte, 3 Cs. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna meet up with the others.
All right, you meet back up just as they're questioning Elnath. Though the guards don't let you through until Korax, not Korax waves you over and says, "Yeah, they're with me," or until Charlotte shows the badge. But either way,
Okay.
you all meet back up.
Oh, welcome back, dears.
I went to Rudy's home. Found things.
We took a look at the house.
What did you find?
There was a teleportation circle in the basement.
You don't know if it's teleportation. You just know it's conjuration magic.
There was some sort of conjuration circle in the basement. Charlotte has has suspicions.
Cicada is gonna go over to Elnath and show him a copy of the circle.
Oh
Does
yes,
this look
that's
familiar to
definitely
you?
a teleportation rune.
Leading to where?
It's a circle. You can teleport to it if you know it.
All right, here's my next question. Teleport to it, but how about teleporting out of it?
I mean, you don't need a teleportation circle to teleport out. You just carve a circle or use some dust and you make the circle and then you appear where you want to go. And the places you can appear are those teleportation circles.
I think I understand now. This is 100% a legitimate teleportation circle, then.
I mean, I don't know. The circle is correct, but I don't know if it was actually set up. It's very possible the magic was not filled in.
It wasn't.
Fine. It's not the case, Cicada. Well, actually, that would be the case because it would have been active then, would it not?
Not active.
Then I'd say someone's just carved it and didn't spend the year to activate it.
So
So it was probably used to teleport away, but not teleport permanently.
Huh.
So it was a teleport away then, you think?
Yes, there's a spell called
Now.
teleport circle that works. Basically, what Elnath is saying is that you can make temporary teleportation circles, or you can make permanent ones. And that if it didn't have any magic, it was probably the temporary one that you can teleport from, and not the permanent one that you can teleport to.
So it's still used as an escape then.
Most likely.
But how long does it take to make these temporary teleportation circles, Elnath?
Oh, about a minute, I believe.
A minute. Then my theory could be completely wrong, and it's actually accurate. Someone of a high magic caliber could have taken her away.
It is expensive to make it, though. It costs like 50 GP roundabout. Speaking of, you should probably see if you can get an in-room sooner rather than later.
I live here.
Oh, right, you're,
We don't.
An LSA, yes.
Right, carry on then.
Clara turns to Corax and says, "I don't mean to intrude, but do you want us to join you at your place or find it in?"
In, in, I should be able to wrangle you a guest room or something.
Okay.
I'm still
Don't
gonna
wanna
go find an
intrude.
inn.
Yeah, same.
Well, regardless, it's up to you guys what to decide.
Yeah. Gonna go find an inn.
Alright. Well, Corax, do you tell them about their options for inns?
And let me just pull that up.
What's the closest one here?
um,
It's in DM chat.
yeah, I know. I'm a. Well, since you're not citizens of this city, I'm afraid you won't be eligible for most of the ones on the upper levels. You, those, those the, those the cheapest one would be, and would be, I believe the common tongue name for it is Shady's Tavern. And and there's and well, that'll be on the lowest level. Toasty Tavern is more expensive, and so it's on the same level. And then the Great Elven Inn is probably closest, also the most expensive.
Well, you can't give us a discount?
You can either.
Well, I'm capable of giving you a free room, if you want it.
Are you really sure? Are you really sure? Or it's going to be okay? For is it real? You really think it's going to be okay for me? To be staying at your family's place. I'm a relative of the accused. They could consider me a threat.
Hmm.
Well, with that temper of yours, you never know either.
I think my temper is justified at the moment. Thank you.
Be that as it may, it's not going to help anything.
Besides, the only person the only person I'd feel comfortable from Korax's family that I'd feel comfortable talking to would be Rudy herself, since she's the only one who can clear all this.
Out of character, let me check something.
Oh boy.
I've got a plan. I've got an idea. Ryu,
Hmm.
come with me.
All right, anything.
Eh, 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 we're gonna head over to Rudy's home.
Alright, you head on over.
Okay, when we get there,
Really quick though, so the prices are Shady's Tavern is 1 gold a night, Toasted Tavern is 5 gold a night, and the Elven Inn is 10 gold a night.
They said you give us a free room.
And then you have the
You
free
don't
room
want
at the
it,
Royal
oh.
Palace.
Ooh.
So those are the prices. Alright, continue, Corex.
and okay, so, one moment.
Alright. Charlotte and Cicada, what are you two doing?
I guess we're
Um,
going to the tavern.
Yeah, I'm going to head to the tavern.
Alright. It's 1 gold a night. Feel free to subtract it.
I already did.
Okay.
Alright. The rooms are quite nice. You know, they're very soft and you know, it's still a decent tavern, even with it being the cheapest. Like, it's clear that they target the tourists.
Ah.
And yeah, it's run by an elf named Shadi.
Ah. Shady. Not shady.
Alright, Corax?
Okay, so, so, oh, Ryu, Korax actually takes you up a level into the royal level. But rather than headed towards the royal palace, it is he brings you to what looks like a fairly small, sort of a small, relatively small. It's like 2 stories house with the same general architecture. He walks up to the door and just says, "Ota," which is Elvish for "go away."
The guards all give a look and then they bow and they move away, but they still.
No, that I wasn't saying that to the guards. That's the password.
Ah, right. I'm sorry. I wanted to mention that the guards were there and anyway. Yeah, the door opens and you actually see that it opens up into a secret room that's also filled with books and a simple bed.
Yep. So
Secrets.
look
I
upon
thought-
this. Look upon this, Ryu. Like, close the door. Look at all this.
I thought Cicada said they already investigated this place.
Oh, I just need to. I just need to get you. I just need you to get a very good idea of what my sister is like, and I'm going to use silent image to project an image of her, just standing in the middle of the room.
The illusion looks annoyed.
This
Wait,
isn't.
no, wrong. Oh, that was very nearly a wild magic surge.
This isn't a communication spell, is it?
Nope. But you have one. Do you and do you think you can get familiar enough with her to from all this for it to work?
Based on just a projection?
In familiarity is the key. She liked books and magic. She liked to be left alone. And this is what she looks like. Her name is Rudion Elise. Will that be enough?
I can try.
Yeah. Basically, I'm. Well then, call her. Yeah, tell her your name, and, and ask her if Elnath was the one who kidnapped her. Because the
Rudion,
wording of the spell is you've got to be familiar with them. It doesn't actually say you have to have met them.
You're right.
Rudion Elise, if you can hear me, I'm Ryu Lenethwa. My grandfather Elnath has been accused of attempted kidnapping and murder of you.
There's a long pause, and then you get an annoyed voice, just a dead, straight, flat monotone go back and respond back and say, I don't know who you are and I don't know who that is.
Somebody with a
An elf with gray hair, who spent some time reading with you right before the break-in.
again, his name is Elnath Tegman. He's an elf with gray hair. Apparently, you two who came to your house to read books together.
Was he behind your kidnapping?
What was he behind your kidnapping?
Oh, that guy. No.
There was an annoyed monotone voice responded in saying no.
And 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 and, and well,
and she before that she said, "Oh, that guy." So she does remember him.
and like, and you see, Korax. She, like, for the first time since her transformation occurred, you actually see Korax smile.
And you actually get a response back a second later as you are given a sending. And you get a response back basically saying, tell Korax I said hi.
And she also told me to tell you hi.
And tell her she's happy to hear that she's safe.
The response, you actually get another sending back and it's just, huh. Like, Rudy just laughed at him.
I guess it was as good a way as any to like update Rudy on this stuff.
I mean, it's Rudy. Of course she's going to waste the sending to just say, huh.
Does she know about your condition?
No one but my parents and the one very unfortunate wet nurse. And I've obviously me and you knows about it.
Then you'd have to explain this to her.
As far as she knows, this was as far as she knows, this like in motions to again to herself was entirely my idea, and honestly, I intend to keep it that way.
Not very good at keeping secrets, is she?
I mean, honestly, she is if only for the reason that she never talks. But I honestly don't. She probably wouldn't care much, but well, just better to be safe than sorry.
All that aside, she just confirmed that Elnath made no attempt at kidnapping or murder.
And well, and well, I think, I think I'm going to need. I think that I am going to need you. Like looks at the looks at the courthouse. I wonder if I w- and
Hey, DM, out of character question: Is it possible to create a? Is it possible for anybody who knows the spell to create a scroll of that spell?
It,
it's possible but expensive.
yeah.
Yeah, it's expensive and it takes a while.
How much of a while?
Depends on how powerful the spell is.
What if it's just sending?
It would still a few days. There's no time. That being said, and well, and well, a good sending spell. A good sending spell would be well. The point is, we need to get you in a zone of truth in front of the court.
You want me to tell?
Well, you just did get some very pertinent evidence.
You want me to tell them? You want me to tell them that Rudy just vouched for Elnath's innocence where I'm in no position to lie?
Yes.
That's great.
I wasn't even sure if the illusion thing would work.
Corax, you're amazing. Thank you so much.
And well, there we are.
Should we tell the others? Do you think it'll be all right?
I mean, we could do that, or we could do the Jezebel thing and surprise them on and do a grand surprise on the day as on the day of the trial. It would be less prudent but funnier.
Funny or not, if it works, then if it works, then I'll try anything.
I honestly don't think keeping it a secret would make any actual difference. I mean, you'd have to submit it. You would have to submit it to the courthouse itself. In any case.
Just. Hey, I already said I'll do anything if it helps clear my grandfather's name, Corax. I'll do whatever you tell me to.
Well, then get moving.
Right.
Like, Yeah, and you say you'll do anything. Like, okay, follow the standard legal procedure. Come on. And Korax just like starts dragging Ryu back towards the courthouse. Like, I'll do anything. You make it sound like I'm asking you to commit some kind of crime.
I don't even want to joke about that right now.
Alright, so, you're going to the courthouse, but, I'm gonna wrap it up here.
That is fine.
Just cause it's getting close to time.
Yeah.
Alright. Thank you all for coming. We'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!
Goodbye.
Bye.